And I think that's a good idea to understand fasting, because that's really the top of the mountain in detoxification. If you look back in the dawn of time, fasting has always been used. In Christianity, you got it down that line, and Jesus, Moses, all these people. You've got it down in Buddhism. You've got it down, Siddhartha and all those guys. You got it down the Islamic religions. You've got it everywhere. Fasting has always been the universal way. Animals still do it today. When they're sick, they don't get up and run off, and they don't move. And I think it's important to understand why that is, and why rest is very important in health. When you look at the adrenal glands, and you understand that they're dealing with this autonomic nervous system that invades your body, and it makes you able to walk and run and move your bowels and breathe and heart pump, you start to realize how important that is and how important it is to have healthy adrenals. So when you really want to have more activity, you understand that takes energy. So the body has to redirect its energy from digestion, from elimination, from all these other parts. The body has to grab its energy, especially if you're running hard or whatever you're doing. So in the adrenal glands, though, you'll see the increase of norepinephrine and epinephrine. I think I talked about this before, but forgive me if I have. But that increases, that dilates the vascular system, bronchioles. It gives you more oxygen, more blood flow, increases the thyroid and heart rate. So you really start seeing that activity and the energy move to activity and muscles. But it shuts down acetylcholine and dopamine, which means it shuts down kidney function and bowel function, because the redirection of energies to muscles and blood flow and oxygenation. So when you're at rest, the opposite happens. The norepinephrine, epinephrine go down, the dopamines and acetylcholines go up. That increases kidney elimination and bowel elimination. That's why under stress, you're pumping that epinephrine or norepinephrine, but you're losing the bowel performance and the kidney performance. So fasting is a time to shift that and to allow the relaxation and the improved elimination. Fasting is always a water experience, and natural hygienic people really had some nice fasting clinics, and you went in and you used your tongue because you notice how your tongue turns white or brown, some real red, meaning a lot of inflammation in the gut. And so we used to fast people until their tongue turned pink again, and that was one of the indicators. Well, I generally don't fast people on water anymore because of the nature of their lymph systems and what I'm facing here. Most of our clients come here with cancer or some serious degenerative condition that we need that chemistry in those fruits. I think it's important that we get the body into a little more into a state of health before we get into water fasting. I never ask people to water fast until I'm sure their lymph is moving well, their kidneys are filtering well. So if I'm just eating a sad American diet, I don't want to jump into fasting. And that's what one of this question is. You work your way down toward that world, or up to that world, and you do that by eliminating everything but fruits and vegetables, and then you eliminate the vegetables, and then you spend a few days on fruit, and then you go into water fasting or whatever. I think mono fruit fasting is as high as you really need to go. That's why we're grape freaks here. We had a famous model do 43 days grapes and lemons combination and no more lung or bone cancer left. And so we have her testimony there. And so these are all observed cases by the medical profession. So pretty cool stuff. Grapes and the Stanley Burroughs Master Cleanser, those are the two popular ones I use here. I love grapes. You always play with that. I used to play with how long can I go. Sometimes I could only go 3 or 5 days. Other times I could go 40. It's just what you're going through emotionally and everything else, and how much self-discipline you have there. If no one's ever fasted on water, fast on water for a few days. Get the sense about that. And then, do your fruits off and on throughout the day, and then separate that time between them. Get a sense of what fasting is and the power fasting has to detoxify you. That's the top of the mountain. But, fruit fasting is pretty darn good, too. That's right up there. I like to start out, someone that's really toxic, I like to start out with a salad at night, fruit all day long, and the herbs. Then I like to get rid of the vegetables. Now, some people are so toxic,
that they have to do 2 vegetable meals a day and 1 fruit. And I remember Babe, she couldn't hardly do any fruits initially because her lymph system was so bad that she would immediately have problems, so she had to go to vegetables for so long. And I think that everybody's a different case. But for me, if you want to start getting well, then you're going to move yourself to 100% raw. That's number 1. Huge magnetic difference. If you've never done that, then get rid of everything cooked. Do 100% raw. And then do 100% raw for 1 month, and then just add a cooked meal in there and see the difference. You're going to see the difference. I don't have to tell you. Experiment on yourselves, man. So then do a salad at night and fruit all day long. And then get rid of the salad after about a month or 2 and do fruit all day long and at night too. Then do mono fruit. Just go to a mono fruit and see how you feel. And then get rid of the mono fruit and do water fasting and see how you feel. You'll see a difference at every level. Each one of these levels you're talking about, to me, are more powerful than the other one. For an example, fruitarianism, pretty powerful. But for most, they can't do that right off because, 1, their consciousness can't handle that level of energy. 2, they're so toxic to a lot of people, it's hard to do that. Powerful program, all raw. Just that's powerful. But then all fruit, that's even more powerful. It's more magnetics, so you could do that. Fruitarian with herbs, that'd be cool. Mono eating, absolutely mono eating. I enjoyed mono eating. I did. But now I enjoy, I got to taste, just to taste that, just for the fun of it, Water fast, done a lot of that. I've not done a lot of dry fasting, to be honest with you, so my opinion isn't really there for you on that one. I know a couple of guys on YouTube or on Facebook has dry fasted a bit now. Dry fasting, I've heard they get the most sediment out and stuff. I don't know if dry fasting is smart, especially in the earlier stages. No way in hell is dry fasting smart. I don't even like water fasting initially, so I've tried to bring people along. That's why I use the herbs, because people like the vegetables. If you like the vegetables, you add the herbs because they have a power. But when you're up at the fruit level, I don't really care. But fruit and herbs really get your body going. Because remember, herbs are vegetables, but with a twist. They're non-hybrid, they're specific in their consciousness, and they turn on the body cells or they accelerate cleansing. Those are the 2 things that herbs do. You can have all kinds of actions if you want, whatever they are, but they still do those 2 things.
But when you go on these longer grape fasts or longer mono fruit fasts, you want to break it with adding more fruit for a day or 2 and then add a salad for a day or 2, and then you could go down a little further. You would never want to break it with too much cooked food or anything like that. I remember Bernard McFadden broke it with boiled potatoes, and I think, wasn't that his last fast? I think it killed the guy. But you know what? You want to build up to one and build down to one if it's a long-term fast. If you're already a raw foodist, you're right there almost anyway. Just stop the salads for a couple days, go all fruit, and then just boom on a long grape fast, and then break it with maybe a bunch of fruit, and then a couple days later add some vegetables back in there. Goes to show you, though, why vegetable fasting will plateau you and you won't go very far. Vegetable fasting has really never been. Fasting and vegetables are not synonymous, in my opinion. You can see the difference between people that do that kind of things and those that don't. Big difference. You must dig much deeper into the human body on fruit. And astringents and the magnetics and there's all the reasons why is in chemistry and magnetics there. So that's important that you break these fasts a little bit and relax with that. It doesn't matter how often you fast. Everything you do is another step forward. So don't beat yourself up. You just keep going. Have fun with it. Make it a fun thing. Some of you I know are pretty sick. But you just keep it and you keep going with it and you just wear the robe. Wear the robe. Wear it. Ride it. Take it on. Don't fight it. Just enjoy it. Change this and enjoy the ride. And it's a lot of fun there. For those with low blood sugar, you're going to want to have a lot, fruit meals more often in the day, off and on all through the day. There's no question that if you separate, the longer you separate time between foods, the more fasting state you're kind of in. Yes, and you'll feel that. You'll feel that, and that's where fasting came in. Will lemon juice only be better than water fasting for fat loss?
Not necessarily. Not for fat loss. I don't see that. You know, either way is going to take it out of you. Raw foods is going to take it out of you. But to tell you the truth, if you're not water fasted and you really haven't detoxed enough, I suggest we're at the level of toxicity, I think, that you can safely say you need to detox on foods for a while before you enter the realm of just water. Just water fasting early on in your health, your walk to well-being, it probably isn't smart nowadays. I think what's smart is to do for those that are really way out there on the sad American diet or whatever diet around the world, they're all about the same in their own ways. You can move from that into an 80% raw, 20% cooked. The 20% cooked should be only steamed vegetables or so. Out of the 80% raw, at least 60 should be fruits. Move that to all raw, then you could do like 70%, 75% fruits, 25% vegetables. After a while, you want to drop the vegetables and be 100% fruits, berries, and melons. After that, then you could go into water fasting, but I would definitely spend 2 or 3 or 4 months detoxing, get my kidneys filtering, because having your kidneys filtering in a water fast would be key essential, or you're not going to enjoy your water fast a lot. Just depends, you know, can be real shaking on you. So I would do the lemon juice and grapes first before I would go any deeper with that. Does water fasting eliminate mucus waste faster than fruits? Well, every time I've water fasted, I felt it more powerful than juice fasting, to be honest with you. However, I do, when it comes to the lemon juice fast, that's up there. That's up there because you've got a lot of astringents there. You've got a lot of energy there. I think in a clinical setting, difficult to get your clients to do water fasting. Easier to get them to do just grapes or grape juice, much easier. So I think in that sort of way, but certainly get out there and try it on yourself. Do a 10-day water fast and then do a 10-day lemon juice fast and then do a 10-day grape fast and see which one you like and let me know. And let us all know how you came out of that. The secret of that, my friend, is digging deeper into your lymph system, and I can tell you what you're going to find, but report back to us. 10-day water, 10-day lemon, and then 10-day grape. I was told by cardiologists that, we went over this, cardiologists should not fast because it would stress my heart. This is a lot of love. Alone a lot of. You know what? I just disagree with that totally. But, however, I do like fruits and berries and melons as a form of fasting because it's balanced. It's nutritive. It's healthy. It's powerful. It's astringent. It's good for you. It enhances and cleans. So I like that better than water fasting. I do. But if you have heart problems, those are the only food you should be having because you surely wouldn't want to do the proteins. Protein and heart trouble has always been linked. All these links have always been there. Cardiologists have always ignored them. I spent time in a lot of cardiac work, and I used to ask some of these cardiologists, why do you recommend meat eating when you know the link? They don't care. Why do they care? You're a business machine. Metabolize sugar well. It's better to fix that issue before doing a grape. No, it's not better to wait. It's funny, if you're having problems with digestion, still don't wait. If you're having problems with digestion, then you want to go to the fruit diet because you still have to get that nutrition in. If you're having trouble with digestion pancreatically, then super chew. Because you have amylase, you have the digestive enzymes mostly in the mouth that you do in the pancreas. And of course, you want to super chew your foods because unlike omnivores, we do have the, alkaline digestive enzymes like amylase in our mouth. So we do chew. You notice dogs just swallow. But dogs do love greens. My dogs always stopped along the road and started chewing on the greens, especially if I gave them too much protein. They love to chew on the greens because everybody has to have some plant life. Even the carnivores go for the gut.
and eat on the pre-digested greens. And they go to the pre-digested greens because carnivores and omnivores don't digest carbohydrates in the mouth like we do. Another difference of why we're not omnivores. I mean, you could go on and make a long list of differences between Homo sapiens and omnivores. And so, you know, we fit perfectly in the category of frugivores. Sad thing is we don't have access to good fruit. If I gave you a bill of fare of an incredible amount of fresh organic fruits and berries, you wouldn't have any desire to go anywhere else. You'd be just in ecstasy, enjoying the nirvanic experience of good, ripe, organically grown fruits. Metabolizing sugars well, that's more of an adrenal gland problem than a digestive problem, though, in that sense. And so I would definitely work on my adrenal glands if you're having a hard time metabolizing sugars. And if you're having a hard time metabolizing sugars, it's glucose that you're having a hard time metabolizing, because fructose doesn't need to be metabolized. It absorbs through a cell wall by diffusion. Glucose needs a carrier of insulin. So in all ways, fruit is far superior.
I just recently accomplished a 6-day fruit juice fast, which I don't have any healing crisis, just super low energy, always wanting to nap while I know this is my chronic adrenals. Honey, you get this like nobody's business. You're exactly right. It's exactly what it is. You know, there's people that fast like this that don't get that, because they don't have the adrenal weakness. They get more energy, you notice? But there are those that get less. And it's not about the diet. You're eating the most energetic, magnetically alive food on the planet. It's not about that. It's just what you said. You got it right on the bell. Oh, I love you guys. This is just it. Your adrenals, you got to work on them. But then that's how you got the chronic bowels. You know, when you go back and you look at the kidney and adrenals control the sewer system, and even though the colon is another route for digestive food as opposed to cellular food or waste, still, you got that sewer system everywhere, in the wall of everything. It's everywhere. It is the dominant fluid of everywhere. So this is a big deal. And so you get it. I love that. I love that. I've just started on grapes and lemons fast only, but here is my concern. When I did the fruit juice fast, I wasn't drinking a lot. I just never felt hungry. Well, that's another thing, is that when you get up after 3 or 4 days, you lose hunger totally. But that's where fasting comes in. And if you're up there and you just don't want to eat, okay, because you're allowing the body its full energetics. Here's the problem with fasting when you have real weak adrenals. Blood sugar, blood pressure, everything's going to go low in weak adrenals. It's just because now there's nothing hyper-stimulating the adrenals. Fruits are not stimulants, if you notice. They're just pure energy and love, baby. So they're not here to hurt you. They're here, let's take a ride. And that's what they're for. So that's what I'm saying. It's just that it is your chronic adrenals, and you just got to go after that. And that's why I do use the glandulars, but that's where you want to go. When you get those adrenals built, a fast will empower you, because at a certain level, digestion is boring. Digestion is an innervation. You know, that's why it's so important to eat in the higher levels, especially when you're my age and when you're older. When you're older, you don't want to eat heavy foods. I mean, that's what's going to bring you down, bring the body down. So you want to stay light. Hi, Doc. Do you think water fasting could remove heavy metals from the body? Yeah, I do. Because most of them stuck in mucus and stuck in the lymph system. Absolutely, I do. But if you're talking about blood, that spills over in the blood, or blood kind of retains. Simple fruits and greens clean that out of the body well. Get the kidneys filtering. This is key to any heavy metal removal, any neurotoxic removal. Remember, neurotoxins, they're as bad as heavy metals, or worse, because they suppress breathing. They suppress neural functions, and nothing good ever comes of that. You know, so definitely detox cleans everything out. You know, get away from this concept of cleaning the blood constantly. You've got another fluid that's 3 times bigger that needs cleaning and filtering, and that's the one you need to go after. You know, chelation therapy, I don't mess with the blood. It cleans real easily. But again, going back to someone originally talking about the spleen and liver, you always clean those in detox. But they have to clean lymphatically. Because remember, when you talk of cleaning an organ, what are you talking about? Bunch of cells and two fluids. What are you cleaning? You're cleaning the fluids. Therefore, the cells now can get fed and eliminate their waste properly. Absolutely. Keep it simple.